Hi, I'm Piotr Kocel, co-founder and CEO at Ingenious. We founded Ingenious back in 2019 with a vision of democratizing storytelling. And I must say it's been quite an amazing journey ever since, not only because we've had incredible projects and amazing challenges that we managed to overcome, but more importantly, just looking at the pace at which technology has been advancing over the last couple of years. I literally think we are very close to that YouTube moment in filmmaking where just about anyone with an idea for a story will be able to make their own film. And that's where it's so incredible to just be at that intersection of storytelling and VFX, where I think this is the most important moment we've been in since Jurassic Park and all these amazing 3D dinosaurs that we saw in the 90s. And also that initial wave of desktop computing, which brought VFX from the world of $10 million a minute budgets to, let's say, hundreds of thousands of dollars. We are about to see the cost of VFX decrease to, let's say, a couple of dollars a minute. And that's exciting. It's just a good place to be right now. So what is really happening within the VFX pipeline is that we are using AI and real-time 3D graphics to dramatically compress the time, resources, and budgets that go into generating 3D worlds and 3D assets. This is where we, as a company, decided to address one of the biggest challenges first, which was creating photorealistic characters, a process that typically takes months from concept to finished art in the gaming space. But if you take that to the film industry, that may take a year or two.
We're witnessing a unique moment rarely seen in the wild. Here we see an experienced concept team in their natural environment. They've just started a short break to recharge their batteries while working on a new project. This is a unique group of top experts in creating characters for video games. The team gained experience while working for brands such as Ghost Runner, Dying Light, Arcane, For Honor, and Warhammer. What we're observing here is a highly unusual phenomenon because the concept team rarely takes a relaxing break from work. Hi guys.
Hi.
The challenging process of creating unique characters for computer games isn't always as enjoyable as it may seem. After dozens of iterations and long discussions about the creation of a character comes the next step, the hard, tedious process of modeling, which can turn any character upside down again. Every design team dreams about two things: more coffee and giving their models the chance to see the light of day as soon as possible. And this is how Persona helps them. We upload a concept sketch into the app. There's immediate AI analysis of the image. It studies the anatomy of the character and translates it into an initial three-dimensional model. The face becomes the key factor. Based on its analysis, AI creates a realistic photo which we use as a texture. At the same time, the hair that was created in the concept artist's dreams is transformed into a 3D model and added to the character's face. The next step is the moment of great connection, when the body and head of the character are united. And now the model goes through additional improvements. We match and add clothes. Then comes the rig and animation. Et voila! In just a few minutes, we get a ready, rigged 3D character, ready for testing in the game engine, though also ready to be targeted by a art director. Thanks to Persona 3.0, you can focus on the creative aspects of characters and shorten the production time of a model to the necessary minimum. There's time for variations, detail grinding, and for some gaming tournament. Isn't that right, Vigeni?
The best thing about Persona is that it gives you total freedom to fail. You can create 30 3D characters in an instant, 29 can be bad, can be crap, but one will be perfect, one will be golden, and that's an instant win.
Persona really fits in well into this whole real-time 3D revolution that we're going through right now.
Persona gives me 10 to 20 models per day that are ready to implement in engine, ready to add finishing touches to, and ready to pick the best variant creatively.
It empowers studios to do what they do best: dream, build, create worlds that we never even thought were possible.
Persona 3.0 is an Unreal Engine plugin that can be used by any registered user. Just go to thepersona.io, create an account, and upload your first test concept art. Join the Persona.app channel on Discord and let us help you create a tool that will revolutionize the process of creating characters and video games.
Thanks to advances in machine learning, we have been able to compress that pipeline into a couple of minutes. Persona 3.0 takes a 2D sketch that can be developed by just about any concept artist and spits out a photorealistic, fully rigged 3D character within a couple of minutes, which is quite a change compared to what we are typically used to in this industry. But it's important to also look at VFX as a whole and how it's been changing. So let's look at the 3D pipeline, where you typically go from an idea for a story, some sort of pre-production, you start developing concept art, modeling characters, rigging, layout, rendering, VFX, etc. And something that was typically a highly iterative, long-term process is now revolutionized, upended totally by real-time 3D. So let's look at the VFX pipeline and how it's evolving. I really see two major trends which are happening and two major routes people are taking to shorten and create a whole new way of doing storytelling using VFX. The first, which we are seeing right now, is mainly around the advent of real-time 3D graphics, enabled by companies like Epic Games and Unreal Engine, which is something where we operate in. And the basic concept there is obviously doing what was once subject to weeks of rendering in real time. So we are able to visualize and almost achieve that final pixel quality without any post-production using gaming engines, which as we know have advanced their photorealism by leaps and bounds in the last couple of years. But what I think is happening is that there is this other phase that is coming after that. Within a year or two, we will see software that is able to generate video from text, just like people today using Midjourney or DALL-E are able to generate images, which are quite incredible and of increasingly higher quality. We will be able to generate video based on text prompts. And in fact, Meta has just announced their Make a Video service, which allows you to do just that. Now, these are early times. It's not exactly 8K quality, but if you look at where we were with text to image only 2 or 3 years ago, you can imagine that in a year or two, people will be able to basically prompt their computer to create photorealistic videos of stories that they want to be telling. And that is groundbreaking, because if you go back to that 3D pipeline, that VFX pipeline, and that premise that if I have an idea for a story, I can do it on my own, you have all these elements already available today. So I have an idea for a story, I can go to a service like Deep Story that will actually help me write a script. Once I have that, I will go to, say, Midjourney or DALL-E to create the concept art that I need to make my story happen. Once I have the concept art, I can use Persona 3.0 to create my 3D photorealistic character. I can then take that character and use my iPhone to do motion capture through, say, move.ai, and integrate that with a synthetic 3D environment created based on a picture, using something like a Nerf. Once I have that all edited, nicely put together, is just a matter of using another AI service to create the voiceovers, and I'm done. And in fact, a gentleman from Germany, Fabian Stelz, is now doing exactly that, doing a show called Salt, which is a Twitter-based, fully AI-created show where the audience gets to decide what happens next, and Fabian creates the entire series using publicly available machine learning tools like Midjourney, DALL-E, and others. So it's happening. It's not a question of if, it's not even a question of when. It is happening right now, and I think we are at a stage where studios around the world have got to be starting to ask these questions of where the industry is going, because looking at where we are now, I think we can imagine a world where storytellers will no longer need to go to a studio to tell stories. They will no longer need anything beyond their laptop to actually make movies. And that, I think, is as exciting as it is scary. But overall, I think the net effect is a positive one. Now, going back to where we are today, before all that happens, and before we are all out of business, I think there's a number of challenges that we need to overcome, mainly around quality, and that is something that, again, AI and its upscaling possibilities have proven, and we've been doing a lot of work with those as well for Persona, that we're able to upscale very low quality images to something in the realm of 4K, even 8K. So that's slowly going out of the way. And we are left with the biggest challenge, and that is creative control. And I think that's where the future is, because as artists, as we try to tell stories, we want to tell them a certain way. And I think it's going to take a little bit more time before we can really achieve the kind of creative quality that we need to be able to tell stories that we really want to tell, as opposed to stories which are close to what we want to be saying. And I think it's coming. It's just going to take a lot of time. So quality and control and creative control are definitely the challenges right now. But looking at where we are today, where we were 2 years ago, I have no doubt that the next 2 years will bring something, not short of a revolution in storytelling. And it's great to be a part of it. So thanks so much for having me here today. It's been great to be able to tell our story. I hope you enjoyed Persona. We are starting to accept beta testers to the platform, and I look forward to seeing your work.